Okay, let's do this. Whoa! First, let's see. So we've got some work here. We are trying to make Flappy Bird, and we've got a bunch of code. First thing I'm noticing, right, is that we don't have any red or yellow dots here. Second thing I'm noticing is that we don't have anything over here. Hold up a second. This is new. What is this? I haven't. This is new. This is beautiful. I mean, every time I come to JS Fiddle, they update things. There's a little red dot here. It says it's running Fiddle at 25.8. There's an uncaught type error. Player.update is not a function. If I click this, it takes me to player.update. Player.update is not a function, which is interesting. I mean, it's not the end of the world there. Like, so this is the var update equals function. This is player.update. I'm just spacing it in there so it's all kind of lining up right there. It says that player.update is not a function. And so really what I'm looking for here, see how I have a player.paddle? I'm expecting to see a player like definition. So where is player being created? And right here we have function player, and we have this dot paddle equals new paddle, and we don't have a player dot update. There is no function right here, right inside of player. Also to note, this is a capital P, so it's also a function. Huh, that's cool, instead of an object, but that's a thing. Also down here we have our var player, and that's a new player, capital P player. Okay, again, so that's us, this right here. But we don't have any dot update thing, and it does say it's not a function. Now normally we come in and we do the inspect, and we see in our console, interestingly enough, we see the same thing. Player.update is not a function. That and that look like they are working well together, so that's good news. So we need to then go and find out why player.update isn't a function. Now to do this, what we're going to do is open up. So I'm going to open a new tab here, and I'm going to go to my JS Fiddle. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to open up my fiddles, and I'm going to open up one of the last, Pongs or Flappy Birds that I made, version 4, I guess. And we're going to come down, and we're just going to look at the sort of same sections of code, right? In theory, Augustine, you're going to be following along with one of my other videos, and we've probably got to this point, so I'm not sure where you stopped in the video, but here is the complete code. And so I'm just going to keep going for a little bit, and we're going to look at, there's my update function, here's my restart function, here's my detect collisions function, here's my draw pipes, here's a whole section of code that I just don't need anymore. Here's my function step, here's my make pipe, there's my pipe. Hold on a second, hold up, wait, hold on, what is happening here? Player, wait, this is a ball. I see an X width, height, X, Y speed, paddle. You're not playing Flappy Bird. We're not making Flappy Bird. We are making Pong, which is fine. I also have my Pong. It's just somewhere down here. This is Michael Thompson's Pong. Flappy Bird. This is the latest version. Let's try this one. I don't know why it says Michael Thompson's Pong game. Let's close my console here. Let's minimize that. I don't see any Pong happening. If I come down here though, I do have a where I'm at, var player new player, capital P player. Here we go, capital P player, this dot paddle. And here's my player dot update. Interesting. So I guess is fine. Where's my dot update? Computer dot update, ball dot update. It's going to take the player and the paddle. But over here, I don't have a player dot update. Let's see if I have a player prototype render, computer prototype render, ball dot prototype render, ball. Well, what I'm looking at now here, oh, player dot prototype dot update equals function. All right, that's good to know. I'm not seeing any. Yeah, no, nothing's over there. I mean, like paddle wise, like a couple of weird things with this one. I don't know where this code is, right? I'm just saying, like this section, player.prototype.update, clearly isn't here anywhere. We do have a ball.prototype.render, right? And we have a paddle.prototype.render, which means that we have a player.render. That's fine. Why don't we put in our player when we're making it? Why isn't there a function here? This dot render, but with the same code. You know what? I'm not sure. But here's the code that we want. This is a function. Effectively, it will, for var key and keys down, it will get the value, which is the number of the key. The 37 is the left arrow key. We're going to move it to the left. 39 is the right arrow key. We're going to move it to the right. And then otherwise, paddle.move. Why is this here? I don't know why this is here. What kind of code am I looking at? Where's my fiddles? Maybe there's another one that walks through this a little bit better. Michael Tonkinson, Pong clone. I've got older ones. Let's go. Mr. Lowe's awesome Pong clone. Let's try this. Sorry, look, okay. So, right, starting, that is so interesting. I used to be able to see the paddle right there. And I cannot see a paddle. Like, can you see a paddle? Let's see if I can move it. Okay. So, well, I broke it. I need to adjust the size of my height here. Let's make this 500. Let's run it. Well, that is just even more strange. It's still, you can't hide behind there. So if this is 400, let's make it 400. Let's run that. Okay, let's make it 300. Let's make it really short. Okay, so now my paddle's gone. Look, I have to fix my code so that I can be able to understand what the code is doing. I shouldn't need to, but that's okay, I'm going to. See, Augustine and anybody else that's watching this is why we should have, well, this is why we should, one, have really good comments, because the comments are going to help us understand the code when we come back later. It hasn't even been a month. I mean, I wrote this code. I don't know what any of this. Look, okay, here's the thing, and hitting the right wall. That was nice. You know, why is this here? I don't know why this is here, dude. Have I tried to take? I don't know. I don't know. So I have to find out. There's a lot of like weird paddle.prototype.move thing that if I wrote this, I don't know why I'm using that like style of like creating functions, but whatever. I need to find out where my player is a new player right here. That's good. That's my update computer. I'm looking for a paddle. That's my ball update. That's a player update. So I'm looking for, there's my width context. So this right here, I'm just gonna do some stuff to my code here. Let's put my canvas and my context right next to each other. Those things are similar. Canvas dot width canvas.height equals width equals height. I don't completely understand that. Why not just put 400 and 300 in there? Was it going to use width and height anywhere else? Because canvas.width and canvas.height are clearly what I should be using. Oh, this just says width. This just says height. So apparently I'm just setting it there, which is, again, okay, fine, right? Like, I don't know why, but whatever, it's there, so I'm fine with this. I'm kind of worried okay, my computer's doing just fine because it's up at like, and I probably set it to be at like, I don't know, 10 or something, right? And I probably set the Y value at 10. But my player value for my paddle is probably set at some like 400, and it's not using the height at all. So I have to go find my player dot Y. There's my paddle, X, Y, width, and height, which is cool. Yeah, see right here, this player, new paddle. It's hard coded in there. These numbers, why are these numbers here? What if I want to change the height? And in fact, I'm looking at it, the height needs to be 600. I don't want it to be 600. I'm going to make this height, HEIGHT, minus 10. No, minus, shoot, looks like the width is 10 here, so I'm going to go minus 20. Okay, let's run this, and my paddle ought to be showing up now. So that's good, and I can move it around. This is great. And if I adjust the size of the, ooh, I won. That was unexpected. If now I adjust the size of the height of this particular box, that will work. This is why we're using variables, right? Because if we run into a situation where, I mean, honestly, you had to scroll down to see this anyway, right? Like, let me go back up here. The height was 600. 600. Let's run this. I mean, look, I have to scroll up and down. I have to scroll up and down. And then something beyond our control entirely, they added this console here. And this console means that we're never going to be able to see our little paddle on the bottom. And so, you know, that's kind of annoying, that we can't see the bottom of the screen. You know, we can clear the console, we can minimize it, but it's still there, right? Like and it wasn't there when I started coding this a month ago or 2 months ago, or a couple of weeks ago whenever I started console. It says it, new console in the editor, enter first beta test, and I'm already in love with it. It's so much easier than doing the right click console thing. So available for all users during beta, and after it'll be available for JS Fiddle supporters. Sweet. I'm pumped about that. I feel like I should support them. Look at all these cool things you can do in this. Okay, so anyway, moving on. Now that I know how to change this, let me change my height back up here to, say, 300. Oop, right there. Let's run that again. Okay, so this is good for my end. Now we have a situation where player.update is not working, because here's your code. Okay, we have player.update is not a function, and that is because we are missing this section that is called player.prototype.update, which is right here. This section of code, right here, you need it. So I'm going to copy this, and we're going to walk it through us. We're going to walk it through. I don't know why I hadn't just put it inside of player. I don't know why it doesn't just say this.update function. Let's run this though. And so see, now we have happily a new error message right here. So let's clear the console. Let's run it. And we have a new error message, right? So we were missing this section of code. This section of code, player.prototype.update equals function. And then these are the codes. So I don't know why this is here. This is bothering me. I'm going to delete it. So let me come over here really quick. And if I don't know why this is here, oh, hold on. Let's talk about this. Let's think about this. If a key is being pressed, right? If it's going up, it's doing this. Otherwise, if it's going if it's going left arrow, it does this. If it does right arrow, it does this. And any other key option, it doesn't move. So here's my right arrow moving. Here's my left arrow moving. Here's my right arrow. Any other key does nothing, right? So I could, just to be silly, let's subtract, sorry, -1 on the y. Let's run this. So this is right arrow. Oh, sorry. This is right arrow. This is left arrow. And this is up. And this is down. And this is the W button. And this is the R button. And this is the F button. That every other key is moving. We don't actually need it to do anything, though. We can get rid of that. Let's refresh this. So this is my, because the expected behavior is that it moves on the right and it moves on the left and no other buttons. And here I'm hitting up and down, and W, A, S, and D, and all of the other buttons. Nothing happens. And with that 0, 0, we were saying, well, even if nothing happens, we're making something happen, and that something that's happening is nothing, which is a really weird thing to do. So I got rid of it. I don't know why it was there. So I got rid of it. So we can get rid of it from here too. This is a weird thing. Why is this here? I don't know. I was being a crazy teacher and I just put it there, I guess. This is kind of, again, a kind of a magic number. We could do, and you can actually see here, uncaught reference, keys down is not defined, which is cool, sort of. That means that there's another function here somewhere that's going to be looking at our keys, right? And I would expect that we are going to get, it just says in keys down, and this says keys down is not defined. Well, let's see, where's my keys down? Oh, it's an event listener, right? And it looks like I've got 2 event listeners. I've got a key down and I've got a key up, which is fine. I'm not sure if I need that though. Also not sure if I need to go through and like do a for, right? There's only going to be, you know, an if, right? If it's 37, it's 37. If it's 39, it's 39. And if you're going left and right, so this is my right key, this is my left key, that makes it stop. This is my left key, this is my right key, it makes it stop. It would be interesting to see, like, if we could just recode this, you know, just to kind of get rid of the key up, you know, just having the key down, you know, keys down dot event key equals true, which is a weird thing. But down here we get keys down. That's the important part. It sets it as a well, it's setting it. We're getting the key that's held down, and then down here we're doing something with that key. Either way, these are the 2 sections of code that we're going to need to make keys down work. Again, I would suggest that you write these, type them out. I want to put these by my player. Oh, where's my player? Here's my player. And I'm going to put them below my player. You know what? Actually, I'm going to put them above my player really quick. Just because I want to be able to say, well, this is my, you know, window.event, right? A listener, window.add event listener, key up, function event, delete keys down. Event key code. Okay, weird, but okay. So here's my function player again, and we've got this. And if we run this, key down is still not defined. There's keys down right here. Keys down right here. Where else does keys down show up? Keys. Oh, right up here. Look at that. Var keys down equals a function. That's those are curly brackets. Why are they curly brackets? Keys down over here is a array. Interesting. I'm just gonna write it in there. So right here, here's our keys down as curly brackets, which is a strange thing to do. So here's our computer update, not a function. So we're going to clear the console. We're going to run that again. We have a new error. But before we get to the new error, let's really look at this. So we're setting up a variable called keys down. We're setting the value of keys down to, depending on the specific key, true, and or, you know, removing it from the true value. And then we've got this function player, and we're using this player.prototype.update. And I wonder if it's possible to take this, cut it, put it into, and we're going to have the same problem with player right here, right? We don't like that. So we're going to paste this into here. And let's get rid of that part and just call it this.update, and then let's take all of this and just tab it in a little bit, and that looks better. And so we tab things in so that we can kind of see where things are at. Like this, you know, is all kind of a function, and it's all kind of inside. And this one is, if you look at it, it's kind of like straight up, you know, from that spot, right? It's very close. It's kind of like in line. And then we've got this one, you know, again, kind of in here. And all of these things are in kind of this for loop. And this little bit is inside of this if statement. So it's going in, and then it's coming out, right? And all of this if, and then this function, this big function, goes all the way down to the bottom, right? So that's what we're trying to do. And again, we already know that we're going to have a problem with this 580 thing, so we're actually going to call this height, H-E-I-G-H-T, and we're going to make it, sorry, minus probably about 20, because that's the, again, here's the height of our actual paddle. And so if we make it minus 10, it'll be sitting on the bottom, and we want to have a little bit of a gap there, so we're going to set it up just a little bit. Let's see if that runs. Yeah, we get the same error, which means that changing this doesn't break anything. And this is a much better way to kind of like keep things contained. You know, here's our player function. It's, again, function player. It's a weird thing to do, but you know what? It's whatever it is. So here we have our player.prototype.render. We could put this, again, let's take this, we're going to cut it, and we're going to put it inside of our player function right here, and we're going to just call it this.render. And then this is going to get tabbed in. Boop, boop. Yeah, just like that. So now, you know, our player has these things inside of it. It's got a paddle, it's got an update, it's got a render, you know, and here's our paddle, and it's got a paddle.move and a paddle.move. Which probably means that our paddle, wherever paddle is, let's find out. Paddle probably has a .move inside of it. Yeah, here's our paddle. But I don't see a paddle.move. So that's probably going to be a thing that we're going to have to fix eventually, because, you know, I wonder if paddle.move. Yeah, I'm seeing it those two spots, but I'm not seeing it highlighted anywhere else. So I wonder if we have paddle.move over here. Control F, paddle.move. Yeah, it's in 6 places. Yeah, here we go. This.paddle, and just those 3 spots, huh? Weird. Well, there's got to be a .move somewhere, right? So there's got to be a move function. Let's see. Is there a move? Let's see if there's a move. There is, right? Where's that? Move, move, move. Ah, right here. Paddle.prototype.move. And it's taking in 2 numbers. Yeah. So if we come back over here, do I have that? Paddle.prototype.move. I have a paddle.prototype.render. Could totally be inside of this function paddle. I don't know why it's not. And yeah, I see a ball.prototype, which right next to function ball. I don't know why it's not in there. I see a computer.prototype, which is great. I just don't know why we didn't, you know, do it all inside of it. I just don't know. I have a, you know, paddle render. Here's my prototype paddle.render. And the only reason that this isn't complaining right now about the whole like there is no paddle.move is because it's complaining about computer.update is not a function. And that's because we just barely made our player.update. We need to have a computer.update as well. And so we can do a similar thing. We can basically, well, it's going to do different things because our computer.update is going to move just automatically to follow the ball. Here it is, computer.prototype.update. It's going to take the ball, the location of the ball, and then it's just going to basically follow it, which is a cool thing to do, I suppose. You know, if you wanted to do that. It's weird. Oh, you know what? That's why it's so weird. I copied this. I mean, I didn't copy this, but I totally copied it from a tutorial at thoughtbot.com. Let's go to thoughtbot.com. Oh, check this out. Pong clone JavaScript. So this is another interesting thing you can do, is just kind of follow along like this. Sorry, I lost myself. This one. This is going to have your everything you need, you know. You can kind of follow along. This is windows.load, var step function, and yeah, var update function. And as we see of our update function, right, like if we just did the code to this point, we'd be able to refresh it and get our pink stuff there, which is great. Again, here's this paddle.prototype.render thing, which again is a thing, but we could also have just put it in to this function paddle. And I'm not sure why he did. I'm not sure what his choice was there, you know, for doing it that way and for doing it another way. I mean, I kind of like the way this kind of breaks it up. It's clearly its own thing, but also like it's part of the paddle. So now that I'm reading it through, you know, it just, I don't know if I've helped you. I hope this helps. It probably doesn't, but I will send you this email, or I will send you this video, and yeah, I'm really, let's, you know what, let's get this to the point where we get the pink stuff, right? So if we go through, where you're at right now, this width, there's the height of 800. That's, oh, you know what though? That's smart, because I'm pretty sure I told you, you know, go ahead and make your own numbers in there. And this is width and this height. That's great. And here he is, width and height, you know, canvas.width equals width and canvas.height equals height. But we're never using width and height, you know, anywhere else, and like we should be. So I'm happy that you chose 800 there. That's fine. When we have our on load, we need that. So let's go ahead and just run through these things. Let's give ourselves a computer.update. So let's to make that, we're going to go this dot update equals function, and we're just going to give ourselves like a hold on a second, a like null function, or just like an empty function. It's just not going to do anything. Let's run it. Sorry, computer.update. Oh, that's because I spelled upada or something like that. Update. That's how it's spelled. Run it. Okay, and we need a ball.update. We have a ball.render. Let's go ahead and into our ball section. And I'm kind of going off script a little bit. This dot update equals function. Again, we're not going to give ourselves any actual code in the function, but it's a function now, and run it. And ball.update is not a function. Oh, what? Clear this. Run it. Oh, check that out. It's blue. And there's our ball. And down here somewhere, we can't see it, is our paddle. So let's make this shorter. Let's make it 200. Sure, run it. Okay, there's our there's our top paddle. There's our paddle, and our ball is probably hard coded to be in the center, which is hilarious. Let's get rid of that searchy thing. Where's our ball? Here's our X and our Y for our ball, and here it is, our X and our Y and our ball. So let's actually do ourselves a little favor. First, we need our X, right? That's going to be the width divided by 2. And then we need our Y, which is going to be our width divided by 2. Or, sorry, our height divided by 2. All right, and so now, however big, ooh, that's interesting. Our width is over here. Ah, That means that our center for our paddle is, again, hard-coded at 175 and hard-coded right here. This dot paddle equals new paddle. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I was like, why? It's hard-coded at 175, but if we change the width, our width is at 500 right here. The original width was 400, right? So if we change those, then it's going to change that, which is kind of fine, kind of not fine. Like, why have variables if we're not going to use them though? So I'm going to go ahead and come on down in here, and this is going to, we're just going to fix it for the new paddle, like right here. We're going to fix it for this one, and then we're just going to kind of copy it over into this one. So there are certain things that we need to do to make it kind of in the middle, right? We need to go to the width divided by 2, but that will put this left corner in the very center, and we want it kind of centered in the center. So we actually need to do that with my width divided by 2 minus, and this is where it's going to get funny. We need to know like our width of our paddle, which is 50 right here. So we can again hard code this in at 25. As long as we don't change the 50 and the 10, we're going to be golden, right? So let's go ahead and take that, copy it, and put it in right here. Paste it. Now we don't need to change the 10 here because we want the top. The top's always going to be the top. It starts at 0. We don't need to change the 50 or the 10, right? If we were going to make our paddles different sizes, we would totally make our 50 and our 10 different. Oh. And if we did make our paddles different sizes, this would have to be contingent on the paddle size as well, right? But for now, we're happy. And it's centered, and we're good. Now, we do want to change the color a little bit of our background. So our paddle is blue, and it's a beautiful blue. And our render right here is effectively context fill style rect, right? So this is coloring in all of the, let me move that down, just a little bit of gap, right? This line right here is coloring in all of the background white, and it's white because it's this. So if we want a slightly different color, let's make it this color. That's a beautiful color. Run it. There we go. That's the beautiful color. And now we can see our entire background, and it's not just white on a white background. So that I think that gets you to a good spot, Augustine. I hope that this helps. I've definitely gone off script. This is kind of very messy code. I hope that if you have any questions, you know, this will start with the conversation with us. So again, I'm going to give you a thumbs up. I'm going to save this video for you. We've been going for about a half an hour. So when you watch this video, just watch it, code along, send me another question. You're going to pass this, man. You got this. Keep it up.